If I'm a stand for anybody, it's Lupe, Fiasco, and Absol. You cannot tell me nothing bad about these niggas. It just doesn't exist. There's not a bad song by this nigga. There's not a bad verse by this nigga.
There's not a bad song by Lupe Fiasco. You're gonna look me in the eye. You're gonna look me in the eye and say there's not a bad song by Lupe Fiasco. Like he thinks there's a bad song. He doesn't like lasers. He's talked about
that whole album doesn't count, bro.
It doesn't count. It doesn't
count.
You want to talk about the Jack Harlow thing?
You knew it.
That had to be it. It could be. There was no other topic it could have been.
So I am probably gonna get cooked for this take, but I personally don't think he was out of line for what he said.
For sure.
But I do think the album name, I think it's all like the optics of it are kind of sketchy. So it's
okay, so let's rewind for a second because I'm not really going to explain it because I talked about it, what I thought about it last episode, so I don't want to bore people. Hello, welcome to the Creme World Podcast. I'm your host, Creme Brulee. This is your co-host, Zai.
What's going on?
We're talking about the Jack Harlow album again. You knew what happened. I didn't get a word in. Yeah. So have you listened to the album?
Nah, I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
I would implore you to, just because, I mean, at this point, you're not, whatever. But I was listening to it just now before this, and I was actually thinking, like, if he, not that it isn't R&B or isn't, like, in the same, lineage as, like, neo-soul music, but if do you know who, like, Jack Johnson is?
Yeah.
It's not that different from, like, Jack Johnson. You know what I mean? So it's like, if he didn't go out of his way to label it as, like, an R&B thing, and he wasn't in the interview talking about neo-soul and shit, I think people would just be like, yeah, this is just a white guy singing on some guitars. Yeah. Because that's what it is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I haven't listened to it, but I've seen enough clips of it to know that I'm not going to listen to it. So, but I do think that, like the conversation around it, I think that, like, him, like, we have to make a decision, right? Like, do we want white artists to like to be more authentic, or like to lean more into Black culture as they make our music, or like, what do we want? Like, do we want? I don't know, because I'm a strong Eminem hater, so it's like
I'm actually surprised by this opinion, not because I ultimately hold the same opinion, but you are typically much more staunchly about protecting Black people stuff for Black people, which, valiant, like, correct. But yeah, I ultimately, it's so funny. Did you listen? How much of the, like, full interview that he did you listen to?
I listened to like the first 45 minutes of it. I got to the part where he said, like, oh, I went blacker, because I had seen all the clips of it. And then there was like maybe another 30 minutes of the interview after that. But I kind of got what I needed to get from the first 45 minutes of it. And my whole thing about the whole I got blacker thing is, I think that optically, it's a wild thing to say with no context, right? But given the context of it, I get what he was trying to say. And I also understand that, like, he was saying that to two white guys, but that's what you have to say to get them to understand what he's saying. You know what I mean? So, like, if he was talking to Black people, he wouldn't have had to say that. You know what I mean? And we would have just kind of known, like, oh, you're clearly leaning more into our culture. You know what I mean? But two white guys telling you, like, hey, a lot of white artists tend to get in hip hop and then sway away from hip hop to safer white genres, but we see you are doing that. Where they couldn't figure out the words to properly say it without sounding problematic. And he was like, "We just gonna say this shit."
I'll say it. Fuck
yeah,
it.
like just.
I'm not media trained at all. Apparently.
So it's like, I got blacker, but I also feel like in the content, I don't know, man. I feel like that interview was just a bad, like, his publicist should have been like, look, there's not enough Black people in this room to talk about this album because of what you're doing with this album. So, like, no, with these guys, don't talk about the album. Just talk to them about whatever they ask you. And of course, he's an artist, so they're going to talk about the album. They're going to ask him about the album. But I feel like there's a way to, like, he should have maneuvered that conversation, like, consciously, knowing that he's talking to two white guys and knowing that he's getting blacker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a way, if that's where your mindset is, there's a way to talk to other white people about that. We're like, there's a way to do this shit. He just didn't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the irony of the situation is, like, that's like a podcast I listen to all the time anyway. So, like, I listened to the whole thing, and the first time I listened to it, didn't even raise an eyebrow at what he said. And the ironic part is, because like you were saying, he's responding directly to a question about being a culture vulture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's trying to say, and they, like you said, they can't really figure out how to say it in a more politically correct way. And like, they couldn't figure out how to say what he said in a way that wouldn't make them all go viral. And he was like, no, I'm fine going viral. I'll just say it. He's kind of saying the quiet part out loud a little bit. And it's like I said, it's ironic because the question is literally like, hey, you know how all these other contemporaries, MGK, Post Malone, Miley Cyrus, whatever, have done this thing where they come into black spaces and then gone back to being whiter. It's kind of weird because you've gone to being, the natural thing to say is blacker, right?
Yeah.
It is, like, it's not, that is, if you were trying to, that's why I said it didn't raise an eyebrow, because he's explaining pretty on point about what he's like. Pretty on point. And but at the same exact time, it's indefensible optically. You know what I mean? Like, I tried to come on here and I was like very tepid last week. I was like, listen, y'all, I know I'm not going to post a clip about this or anything because I will be called a coon online. I know how it goes. But he was trying. And like you said, we have to make space. I don't know. Because I feel, I just don't, the optics of it, like you said, his media, PR people, whatever, they all should have known a question like that was coming. Like the first conversation is, how are we going to address the culture vulture allegations? And he should have had something ready to say that wasn't, I got blacker. Because the optics of, again, 3 white dudes, I like all the white dudes. All white dudes I approve of. But still, of 3 white dudes being like, let's talk about what white people's place in black culture is ultimately the conversation 3 white guys are having, which, as the 3 white guys, 2 of which are like New York Times journalists, like, you guys should have that awareness a little bit. I don't want to say they set them up, but if you go
it feels like they kind of did.
The title of the episode on their like podcast feed is how Jack Harlow got quote unquote blacker. So it's like, yes, I think he knew. I don't know. I feel like he knew there would be a backlash almost. Because, again, they're not going to send out the episode without sending back to his team or whatever. Like, hey, this is what we're going to run with as the title for the article. So I don't feel bad at all.
Yeah, I don't necessarily feel any sympathy for him. I think that where it kind of gets ugly is I feel like we're starting to do this thing where we are disingenuously laughing people out of the culture. Because it's like, if we gonna laugh anybody out of the culture, why haven't we laughed Post Malone out of the culture? Like, why do we allow him to just leave the culture?
Well, he's gone. I mean, how can we laugh him out of the culture? He's not here.
But before that, why did he stay so long? You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at with this. If Post Malone can stay that long and Eminem can stay that long, then why is how to say this?
With respect to M's a different category than the other guys.
M is
a different category than the other guys.
Just because he's from Detroit and a nigga grew up on 8 Mile don't mean nothing.
It's not about from Detroit. It's about all these other artists moving in and out of hip hop. Eminem, you can like him or not. He's never pretended to be anything other than a rapper.
This is fair. I do not like that nigga at all.
No, clearly, we know.
But I feel like there's a lot of there's just a lot of other artists and opportunities we had to really stand on this that we're choosing an easy target. You know what I mean? Because Jack clearly wasn't properly trained on what to say in that moment, and then it's I cut the nigga some slack, but goddamn, people call that nigga. I seen the H, the NWA, fucking.
All of the nicknames are funny. All of the photoshops are funny. All the jokes are fun.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
everything's
It's like I can't even be like that mad because it's like he said a silly thing. People are roasting him.
yeah.
That's
And I
the
feel like
order of the.
what makes it worse is the fucking optics of the album. Like the whole outfit and the whole like
Yeah.
style change. It's like, God damn, bro, just make the album. You know what I mean? Like, you don't gotta do all of this, bro. Just
Yeah.
make the
He goes
album.
in the interview like that Kangol hat means something. It's like,
Bro,
all
like, I seen a clip of a music video of him. He looked like he was straight out of a Jill Scott music video. You know
Yeah,
what I
for
mean?
sure.
Like, it's like, again, like, just make the music. You know what I mean? Like, let make the music and let the people hear the music, and then let Black culture tell you you've gotten Black. Like, don't put on the aesthetic to sell that to us. You know what I mean? Like, it's like everything is marketing. Everything is like not necessarily an agenda, but like no artist puts out a body of work without having some kind of rollout in mind. You know what I mean? Like, how am I gonna get this to the people, and how are the people gonna consume this, and how do I want them to consume this? Like, let's say all of those questions were asked and he answered all those questions, and this is what we got. Bad look. You know what I mean? Like, just objectively a bad look. But I from what I've seen of the album, everybody's like, oh, what the thing about the album is too, like, I haven't heard any Black people speak good on it, but I've heard like every white boy that makes any type of like clip content talk about how these are the top whatever tracks on the album. And I'm like, in all honesty, there really can't be no top tracks on the album because the album is what, like 8 songs?
Yeah.
What
does that mean? There can't be a best of 8?
Yes, there can, but I feel like if we're talking about like I feel like Black people have to decide that. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
let us decide. Let us decide what the top songs are. I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like there's a line in there, or there's another interview he did where he talks about, you know, his girlfriend's Black, and I hate when white dudes do that. It's like, folks, if she love you, she like you, that's cool. We don't need to know that. Like, we don't really care if she do or don't. You know what I mean? Like, as long as you're not abusing her or like using her to appropriate further, we genuinely don't care, bro. You know what I mean? Like, we don't all of these things that he's done to like sell the album have cheapened it. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, because like if he was going to try to genuinely make a neo soul album, which apparently it is, but again, I'm not listening to this shit. I'm not going to, only because I'm not going to listen to it because it's called Monica, and the whole narrative of like Monica being a joke that is like white people saying because like it's close to them saying my nigga.
Do you
like,
do you believe that?
No, that is the thing. I
know that's a thing, but do you believe he named it like that on purpose?
Oh yeah. I think
really?
I think he's not. I think he's too young to not be socially tapped in. You know what I mean? Like he is like the same way we've seen it somewhere. He's seen it somewhere. You know what I mean? So it's like you gotta do better, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it's hard for me to believe that, but I will say, again, they asked him in the interview what the name was about, and he's like, I just like the sound of it. And it's like, oh, bro, you got to come harder than that.
Yeah, just like the sound of it is like, God, he's like, he is the white Drake, because he does things where it's like, fuck, bro, I want to be a fan of you, but you make it so hard.
You play in our faces a little bit.
Yeah, your fans make it so hard, and I just need you to just make it.
The interesting thing is, I went and tapped into his subreddit the day after it came out, because I was like, what do Jack Harlow fans think about this? Mostly they hate it. They really think he is like, they're like, we waited 5 years for this, where are the bars? Like, Jack Harlow fans really think he's one of the hardest rappers.
He's a good ass rapper.
He's a good we don't have to do this every time we talk. Yeah. We both like him. I actually like the R&B album. That's probably my favorite album he's put out.
Word.
But, I mean, I don't really like any of his other albums at all. So
I will honestly admit, I don't think I've listened to an album. I think I've only heard his mixtapes. I don't think I've listened to, and like I didn't listen to the kids like Come Home.
Yeah, that's the only one I listened to. And
I haven't listened to anything. If it wasn't a Gazebo or fucking the Ghost album. Or no, Confetti is what it's called. I've only listened to like his early mixtapes and then Confetti. I haven't listened to any.
Why'd you hop out? Why didn't you?
Because
to Come Home, the kids miss you.
Because he started what's that one song? What's Poppin'? Poppin' got on my fucking nerves, and I was just like, I'm not gonna do it. I don't want you to think. I don't want you to take this any further and make.
I can't approve of this.
I can't approve of this. I can't give it my stamp. But yeah, like I feel like. I don't know, man. I feel like he could have had something if he had just let it come out. Like, I feel like this has been one of the best albums to not do any like rollout for. Like, let this album build its own virality. Like, let it build its own steam. You know what I mean? Like, don't you go out of your way and say shit like I got blacker or I like the sound of the title or whatever. You know, like that shit just cheapens the album. And then with the whole title, I feel like if it was genuinely about a girl, he could have named the album like A Message to Monica or something. You know what I mean? Like, there could have been more words added to it than like just the name. And so it's like, yeah, man, I don't know. It's just so many things about it where I'm like, I wanted to give him grace because that interview, the clip that people are taking from that interview, I do think is genuinely out of context. And when we look at the context of the conversation that was being had, I don't think there was another way for him to say that to them dudes. I don't think there was another way for him.
People are really hopping out. Like, he just was like, they were like, how do you, like, what's your inspiration for this album? And he's like, I'm black now. I listen to D'Angelo. Like, that's how people are treating it. Like, which is very disingenuous to me. Yeah, but it is what it is. That's the internet age we live in.
It is what it is. Have you been keeping up with Atlanta news?
What specifically?
The Roscoe Dash interview with Boomin.
No, what's?
So Roscoe Dash did an interview with Cam Newton, and I didn't know shit about Boomin until this series of conversations happened. But apparently there was
is that someone I should know? No. You'll get into it.
Yeah, so Roscoe Dash, early manager before him and Travis Porter linked up, and before No Hands came out, and before he really took off, there was a manager that he had named Boomin who, from what Roscoe says, was pretty much had his hands all in his bag. You know what I mean? And like from publishing and distro and all these other things, and then before Roscoe really knew what was happening, Boomin sold his contract. Like, he sold his signing to a bigger label. And then in that selling, Boomin was basically like, the selling basically was like, I want to get residuals on everything. Like, I want to get so Roscoe signed to a 360 to Boomin, and then Boomin sold his 360 to a bigger label, but he didn't get himself cut out of the 360. And so it's like, everything that Roscoe was doing after that point, he was getting a piece of. Let Boomin tell it he wasn't, you know what I mean? But like everybody around him tell it, and like, nah, that nigga was eating. We not finna act like that nigga wasn't eating off of that shit. And then Roscoe was kind of like, you know, people are like when since the Metro tape came out, everybody's like, oh, where's Roscoe been? Where's Travis Porter been? Like, no, they're coming back hot. And then Cam apparently is a huge Metro Boomin fan. Cam loves everything about old Atlanta. Like, that's sure. What he says is that's his bag. That's where he grew up at. And I totally feel him because, like, I mean, Cam's so much older than me, but I'm like, I grew up with that shit too.
I don't think Cam is so much older than you. I think Cam probably like, I don't think Cam's 40 at least.
You know, I was like, is he like 40? But if he ain't 40, then it makes sense. If he ain't 40, then it makes sense. But yeah, that's apparently Cam's bag. Roscoe is basically on there saying, like, hey, man, like, y'all been wondering where I'm at. I've been struggling to get back on because I signed a stupid-ass deal when I was 19. And the person that I signed the deal to knew that it was a dumb deal and knew that I didn't have a lawyer present, but they flashed money at him, you know what I mean? And because Boomin, from what the streets are saying, that he's always kind of been one of them ones where it's like, if you've seen him, he never was broke. He never was really down bad. But again, you let him tell it. Of course, when he speaks his own story, it's the exact opposite. But there's another artist named Euro Got It, who I just started listening to his music because of this conversation, also kind of in his bag. But Boomin signed him too, and they kind of had a similar falling out where Euro was like, man, that nigga scamming people, bro. Like, that nigga is getting in your bag, signing you to janky deals, and then selling your janky deals to bigger, jankier deals. You know what I mean? And so it's like, it's one of those things where, like, you sign to a nigga that signed to a nigga that signed to a nigga that sold you to a nigga.
Yeah, it sounds like a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, exactly, like a hip-hop Ponzi scheme. And then he runs this, I forgot what the label's called, Authentic something like that, Authentic Entertainment or something like that. Authentic Empire. But yeah, he was on Big Facts podcast with Bank, and I love Big Facts podcast because, like, they get on there and talk to have artists like that, like, not necessarily street niggas, but they get them on there to talk bigger than their music or like bigger than the sales, and it's like, oh, not that I thought you was just a dumb nigga, but like, there is more to you than this, what I've heard from you or what I've seen from you. And so it's just really cool to see that podcast. But he's also a master conversator and allowing niggas to snitch on themselves. Like he'll ask one question and be like, let you answer the question, then he'll hear your answer and then like inverse the question to see if you're gonna change your answer. Because like the whole podcast, Boomin was like, I didn't sell Roscoe. I got bought out of the deal. And then it's like the first 40 minutes of him basically saying like, I got bought out. Then somewhere in that conversation though, he's like, when he starts telling the story like on his own, he says that immediately like, I sold Roscoe. And then Bank is like, you sold him? He's like, no, I got bought out. Like, nah, nigga, we heard what you said, nigga, nah.
No, we got 2 cameras rolling right now, buddy. We're good.
Exactly. So it's like, I just think you should check up on it. It's pretty good, interesting stuff considering who's being talked about and then like how pivotal these artists were during that time and then seeing what was happening to them during that time. Because like I asked for a long time, like what happened to Roscoe? Because like for a minute there, it looked like bro was finna take off and take over like Soulja Boy did. Like it looked like he was finna be the next Soulja Boy. Like, and what happened? You know what I mean? Like he just disappeared. I think the same thing happened with Travis too. Like
I was gonna say if based on like the Metro album, pretty much all of those dudes, it's like, I wonder what I think. Like, I don't know. Obviously, you know, based on what you're saying, and you know what we know, a lot of niggas do get like hoed out by labels and bad managers and this or that, or crashing out because of whatever issues they have. But I mean, niggas also just fall off a lot. Yeah. So it's probably a little bit of both, you know. Yeah. It's hard to imagine. I think like, have you heard Wale talk about his verse on No Hands?
Nuh-uh.
Wale talks about how, at least I saw in one interview, about how he pretty much hates that song because it's like the song that like he's most known for. Yeah. And he said, he's like, Roscoe came in, played me the song when it was just him and no walk on it. I did my verse in like 30 minutes. And then he dipped out, and I didn't really hear from him again until boom, the song's out, it's a hit. Now everyone talks about it all the time, and it's like the verse he put the least amount of effort into in his entire career.
That's what's so crazy to me, because like Wale also gets like the Black Jack Harlow hate. I feel like because he gets like this weird like hate because he's like what's the word I want to say? He's like, to me, if neo soul was a rap genre.
Sure.
That's what I get from him. And I feel like, we got to be honest, motherfuckers wasn't really feeling neo soul. Nobody is really feeling neo soul unless it's sung by a pretty black woman or D'Angelo. You know what I mean? Like, there's no real middle ground there. And so I feel like Wale gets the same treatment where it's like, ain't nobody really checking for your music unless it's attached to something else. You know what I mean? Which I think isn't fair because, bro, is probably one of the best penmans in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a shame. He really is, like, as a complete hip-hop artist, one of the best we've had for the past 20 years, for sure. Yeah. He just never had his... I mean, honestly, if he came up just not at the same time as, like, Drake and Big Sean and J. Cole and all these other dudes who had, like, crazy mainstream appeal. But I don't know. Wale is a weird one, too, where it's like, man, why did he fall off? Because I don't really feel like his sound ever got like bad or inconsistent or he changed it or anything. It was just one of those.
He did too many things optically. Like there were too many. We saw him too much. We saw him and we saw his emotions too much. Like he was never mysterious. You know what I mean? And he was like, because like that's one of these things that do help these niggas like take off. Like I guess the opposite of that would be J. Cole, but Kendrick.
I was gonna say,
like. Kendrick's whole thing for the longest has been that, like, you know him, but you don't know him. Or, like, you know of him, but you don't know him. And then every single album, you get another piece of him. And it's like this, every time you get a piece of him, you're like, oh, there's more to unravel here. You know what I mean? But it still has this air of mystique. And it's like, we don't know what the nigga gonna say next. Or we don't know what he's gonna talk about next. But with Wale, you do know. Because all he gonna talk about is black. And all he gonna talk about is his emotions and his struggle in the industry and then being black. And then, like, to me, you don't really got to talk about much more. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I like the music so much. It's like, I don't really need you to get like philosophical or like fake spiritual. Like, I don't need you to grift like Kendrick. Like, I just want you to just rap. You know what I mean? Like, give me your authentic rap. I still, to this day, stand by the fact that Kendrick is one of the most successful grifters of all time. Like,
oh man, you're gonna make me ask about it. Hey, before I get into it, I'm just gonna predict how I'm gonna feel after what you say. Based on whatever your parameters are gonna be for that, I'm gonna say we could also apply that to Drake and any other big rapper.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Then now cook.
So I feel like Kendrick, he's like a revolutionary that doesn't revolutionize. Like he doesn't do any of the things. Like he just puts on the persona of a revolutionary. But like he has never really stepped out of capitalism. He's never really challenged capitalism. He's never really challenged anything when it comes to like protecting the culture. Other than saying shit like we don't let white comedians talk about black women. Like that's to me the most direct line of like protecting the culture that he's ever dropped. You know what I mean? Like his early music was extremely problematic. Like a lot of his like if you go back to his early music, a lot of his music is homophobic, transphobic. He does address that in Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. But like that's what 10 albums down the line, 9 albums down the line. Like that's years down the line of his career before he takes the time to reflect on the music that he's put out so far. And then like he does it in the album that sells the least. I don't think that's his fault. I think that niggas don't want to hear him talk about being introspective and shit like that because we want to buy the Grifting Kendrick.
And it was the least interesting album, in my opinion.
Really?
We do. This is one of those ones. This is one of our like 5 core conversations. But yeah, Mr. Morale is just the least interesting.
It's his best album ever, though. Like it is objectively his best body of work ever.
And see, once you bring objectively into it, that's just objectively his best body of work is To Pimp a Butterfly. I don't like it, but it's the highest rated, most awarded, yada yada yada.
Yeah, I guess you got a point there, depending on what we're basing it on. But like, I feel like
Good Kid, Mad City is just one of the 5 best albums of the entire genre, period. And
really, people say that shit to me all the time, and I'm like, bro, I like Section 80 so much more.
I'm not saying Section 80 is bad. Section 80 just has some really weird moments on it, and he says some weird shit, and there's some weird, song. We're far from home, on the Hollywood Boulevard.
I just feel like, man, I don't know, man. I feel like Good Kid, Mad City is so overrated.
You're so weird because you'll just be like, man, I hate Kendrick, not a rapper I like. And then we'll just have like a full-on discussion about like ranking his discography. And you'll be like, no, these are great. What do you, and it's like, have you even, you finished describing how he's a grifter, so just that he takes on revolutionary aesthetics without actually being revolutionary within his movements?
Yeah, I think that's why he is so profound. You know what I mean? Because he says the quiet part out loud, but he don't really say nothing. You know what I mean? Like he not really. People say that to me all the time, like, "Oh, Kendrick's saying what they don't want to hear." I'm like, that nigga, he's saying that. Nobody wants to hear it.
Would you say when you finish your first listen to Pimp a Butterfly, at the end of that, you're like, he ain't really saying nothing?
Yeah.
Really? He ain't saying nothing. He wasn't saying anything.
He wasn't saying shit, bro. He wasn't saying shit. Niggas can't tell me otherwise. Like he made all right. He made is Be Humble on there? Is Humble on there?
No, that's on Damn.
See what I'm saying? Damn is better than
I think Humble's maybe my least favorite of his songs, period. So
that's fair.
That doesn't smoke to me.
Yeah, nah, he wasn't saying shit on To Pimp a Butterfly, bro. He wasn't saying shit.
So the whole metaphor about the butterfly being in the Tupac poem and none of that, you felt none of that was substantive.
That shit didn't mean shit. It's like, nigga, who are you talking to? Like,
Pac. It was Pac. That's who he was talking to.
Pac somewhere in heaven, like, stop it, nigga. Stop it. You're not convincing me of the bullshit. I think the only bigger offense to Pac than that to me was what Drake did.
Obviously.
You know what I mean? It's like, at some point, we gotta let that nigga stay in the grave, bro. Like, let that nigga get his.
I like to imagine Pac was in heaven. Like, actually, nah, that shit was hilarious. Kendrick's kind of corny. I hate that he did that whole talking to me shit.
That shit, bro. It's.
I mean, this is gonna be. I hate that I'm gonna say this, but Tupac is probably more of a grifter than Kendrick is.
No, you're not wrong. I don't disagree with you there. I think that like if you
they're gonna call me a coon, they're gonna
hey man, if you think that's coonery, you just don't know culture for real. Like that's if we gonna be honest about this shit. I feel like what we need to do is we need to stop taking these. Like I get that like these artists have these huge impacts in culture, but I think we need to stop like cheapening our culture to allow niggas to be grifters and let them mean so much. Same with Drake. Like I feel like Drake he should have shown a generation how much we don't really care about the culture. You know what I mean? Because we let this nigga come in, and granted, he came in and changed the game. I give him that. Take care, change the game. Niggas will never convince me otherwise. Niggas started sing rapping after that. Niggas knew who The Weeknd was after that. Like he changed the game.
Gave niggas permission to be sad.
Exactly, right? It gave. But beyond being said, he empowered a generation of fuckboys. Like,
Reporting for duty.
He's empowered a generation of fuckboys. But I do feel like we do this thing in the culture where we allow people to, because their sound is so good, we allow them to pull the veil over our eyes as to who they really are. Because it took, I don't even know how long into Drake's career when I found out that nigga was a Jewish Canadian. And like, not to say that like devalues his whatever, but it's like, nigga, I thought you was a nigga. Like, sure. I thought you was one of the niggas, but you not. Like, yo, fucking you. Every time I hear him talk about his uncle, I used to envision his dad every time he talked about him. You know what I mean? Like, I used to think like, this is
uncle in Memphis, or his dad or one of them.
His dad was in Memphis. Yeah. I think his name, I can't remember his dad's first name, but yeah, his dad was in Memphis. His uncle is a white Jewish man. But if you listen to what's that one song where he talks about taking a car, Over My Dead Body? If you listen to Over My Dead Body, you think he talking about a real nigga. You know what I mean? You think he's talking about a real cool uncle that let you take the whip, slide around town in the whip, and go get some play. When you talk about a Jewish white man, it don't hit the same. It don't hit the same at all, you know? And so it's like, it's one of those things where I think that because the music is so good, because Over My Dead Body is such a good song, you know what I mean? Like, and it is objectively a good song in my opinion. But
Over My Dead Body's got a shout out to Asian girls, let the lights dim some.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm glad that's the bar you knew too. Like
that's one of those bars that a bar I never thought about one time as like weird, and then I got on the internet and everyone's like, this Drake bar is weird as hell. And I was like, oh yeah, wait. Wait, what are you saying? Yeah.
I feel like Didn't Gambino say some of the same shit though?
His entire discography is him saying weird shit about Asian women. And unfortunately, as a teenager, I'm like, I guess this is edgy. I'm not engaging with this part of it. I relate to you as a whole, but you know, shout out to my Asian sisters. I don't got what he's got. He's got
some other shit going on. But bringing it back to the grifter conversation, I think that we do allow people like to be monumental while not actually doing anything monumental. You know what I mean? Like, I think back to Pac, where like I get why people were attached to Pac so heavily during that time, because there was nobody talking about what he was talking about. Like nobody was making Brenda's Got a Baby. Nobody was making Dear Mama. You know what I mean? Like, these are songs that like as a generation, you can feel, you know what I mean? Like these are songs that like, regardless of how street you are, whatever, you have seen this somewhere in your real world. And it doesn't really matter how honest the Tupac's character that is, you know what I mean? It's like, nigga could be a fraud, but the song is real to me, you know what I mean? I think that...
I don't think he's a fraud, by the way. I hope that was clear. I wasn't trying to say he's a fraud, but just in the same way that
I think he's a fraud. I think
he's more fraudulent than Kendrick for sure, because Pac came from like, you know, art high schools and shit.
Yeah. When I see that nigga in that fucking leotard, bro, that unitard, I was like, oh, this is thug life, my nigga. Like, nah.
Yeah. Fucking Jesse Jackson should have got that scrub from the internet, but
But what's also crazy about the Pac thing to me is that like I didn't know. For the longest growing up, I didn't know that he actually wasn't from the West Coast. He's from like North
Baltimore
Carolina
or something
like that. He's from somewhere on the East. But like like all of these things, like it kills me when I know that how much the West Coast claims him. Like, bro, he is one of y'all later in the game, but he is not. He ain't Charles. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, he ain't. I mean, he is though. You know, like the entire West Coast East Coast rivalry was big. You know what I mean? Like Biggie and Tupac stood for symbolically the East and West, and were accepted by them as such. I think like Kanye is not from Chicago. Ludacris is not from Atlanta. There's a lot of
what? Wait, what?
Kanye was born in Atlanta. Ludacris was born in Chicago.
Swear to God, I didn't.
Swear to God, a lot of people. Yeah, that's what I'm. People, you can be like, God forbid, not either of us. I blew up now. Like I would probably claim the West Coast just because that's where niggas know me from. That's where I started doing my shit at. And
that's fair.
If I claim Atlanta, people are gonna be like, you weren't
from Atlanta.
Yeah, like where was you? Yeah.
But like literally though, nigga, I am.
Yeah, no. But it's like, not that I won't claim it. I'd claim it forever, but it's just like, where are you out of type shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there's like some sort of line, and I don't know where it is, between like creating an like as an artist, a musician, a creative person, creating like a character that is, you know, the person who sings the songs or who acts or who does stand-up comedy. Like, I think we all do that to an extent, but it's hard when you're deciding, you know, how far do you want to push that line? You know what I mean? Do I want to be like, okay, me as Creme Brulee, the performer, is just a heightened version of myself? Or is it a heightened version of myself that, you know, I'm like, let me throw in some more black slang. Let me, you know, be more connected to XYZ black things. You know what I mean? So it just looks more.
I feel like Gambino is the perfect example of that. You know what I mean? His whole career is essentially like, I feel like we watched his whole career struggle between being Donald Glover and Childish Gambino. And it wasn't until the end of his career where he's like, I'm just Donald Glover. Like Gambino's dead, and I can't do that anymore. You know what I mean? Like I don't have the capacity to walk that line or push that line anymore. Like at some point, you do. If the character outgrows your identity, at some point you do kind of got to trash it. You do kind of got to be like, I know y'all love Gambino, but I'm Donald Glover. You know what I mean? Like how much do you love me and my music, or how much do you love the character that I made music behind? You know what I mean? And so it's like at some point, you just reach a burnout zone, you know what I mean? And like, I don't know what that line is, or I don't know what that point is either, but I do get what you're saying. I think at some point it just happens. I think it just clicks and you're like, you know what? I'm tired of this, bro. Like I'm exhausted.
Thinking about it in relation to an artist like Kendrick, it's like, you know, Tupac, obviously from discussion we've had, he's clearly like pushed that further than anyone else we've discussed so far. But with an artist like Kendrick, where I'm like, I don't get the feeling that the person, Kendrick Lamar, and the artist that he projects as Kendrick Lamar are that different. Like, obviously everyone's a performer. You're going to, you know, heighten whatever to sell records. But I don't know. I don't get the feeling that there's that much distance in between it. And I say that because, like, like you said, with the whole point of the album, Mr. Morale, is him talking about how he doesn't want to be seen as this savior, right? And it's like, so it's hard for me to call him that much of a grifter, where I'm like, he is incredibly pro-black, incredibly like, he centers black stories and blackness and the black experience in America and the issues that black families have and all these other things. And he does that. But I haven't seen that much of him being like, ayo, I am a revolutionary. Ayo, I want to overturn capitalism. Ayo, I, you know, am in a lineage of Black Panthers. Like, Jay-Z is out here every month being like, I'm Fred Hampton, you know what I mean? But it's like, I really don't see Kendrick as an artist that does that. It's like, it's the nature of being in America, where being pro-Black, you are inherently perceived as uber political, because but like, where do you see him really being like, I just don't see how he can be that much of a grifter when, to me, he doesn't really claim to be a revolutionary as much as he just claims to be pro-black and working through what he sees as like the issues affecting him and his community.
I feel like, you know what, hearing you say that, it may not even be so much him, it maybe it's fucking fans.
For sure. But that's why I said you should get it. That's what the whole album's about, I thought.
It might be his fucking fans. And so, you know, how to say this? I feel like he speaks in a way that is so like conscious and like aware, or like not even say conscious, but like that is so self-aware, where it's like, if you really, really, really don't want to be perceived as that, like, I feel like you got to go more out of your way to challenge that. Like, don't let the conversation continue running off in that direction of speaking on you like you're a revolutionary. If you don't feel like that, or you don't want to be one, you know what I mean? I feel like if Mr. Morale to me is one of his best bodies of work, and is one of his most introspective bodies of work, but it's also the one that he did the least rollout for. Like, he did the least amount of promotion for. He did the least amount of anything for. Like, that shit dropped almost like a Quiet Tuesday or some shit. Like, that shit just kind of came out and nobody really knew about it. I mean, unless you was like, you're a Kendrick fan. You know what I mean?
Nobody knew about a Kendrick Lamar album being released. Nobody.
But like, let's be real. Like, where did you see any advertisement for Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers? I mean, like, I saw G and X every fucking where before it came out. You know what I mean? And so, like, same with Damn. I saw Damn everywhere before it came out. To Pimp a Butterfly came out during a time where the protests and like the George Floyd movie was happening. It's like, that because Kendrick was who he was, dropping an album during that time, it's like, you can't not hear about this nigga finna drop an album during all of this. You know what I mean? And so it's like, well, with Mr. Morale, I would have liked for him to be like, hey, yo, this is the album I need y'all to listen to. Like, I know y'all love me, whatever, but this is my album. I'm talking to y'all like, this is me. Just listen to it. Good, bad, or whatever. Just listen to it. Like, I'm not here to, I don't want to sell you a narrative anymore. I want you to listen to my music, hear what I'm saying, and then devise your own understanding of this shit. I'm not here to push you in a direction with a narrative. I'm not here to take you away from a narrative. I'm not here to do anything. I just want you to listen to the music. He didn't do that. I feel like J. Cole does that more than Kendrick. And, you know, I think J. Cole is opposite. I think they both mean, you know my
I mean, I think Kendrick is, I think there's something to be said for letting the art speak for itself. Like, I obviously hear what you say in terms of promotion, but like, it's hard to do promotion for an album that doesn't really have any accessible popular songs. You know what I mean? Like, there's no, you know, the
Rich Spirit is a banger, but that's the only one.
There's cool songs, and like the Kodak one is cool. But like, there's no, hey, this is gonna be a hit that goes big on TikTok. I mean, in '95, kind of got big on TikTok because they edited that Radiohead song with it. But yeah, I don't know. I guess. What is your point? He should have been more intentional about.
Yeah, I just feel like he should be more intentional about the album rollout. Because like, how to say,
you're really picking nits here, but do you?
I just maybe you're right. Maybe I'm just a hater.
Maybe yeah. I was like,
maybe I'm just a hater. But
it's like you're right, but he didn't tell us that.
But no, for real though. Like, I feel like how to say, like, it's not to say that he doesn't know how to capitalize on the spotlight, or he doesn't know how to lean into the moment. Because like, that's all that Not Like Us was him like destroying Drake, and then for the next year just leaning into the moment of destroying Drake. You know what I mean? So it's like, you clearly know how to do this. You clearly know how to like get behind a message or get behind a mode or whatever and push it to the people. But you choose the most shallow, empty ones to do so. Because like, I think Kendrick is mid, but I will say he does have a thick discography. So it's like, if you do want to take the time to go through the nigga music, you can. You know what I mean? But like, he doesn't put the music out there for you to be like, oh yeah, this is some talent.
There's no mid artist where you've heard like 5 of their albums. If they're mid, you're not listening to as many albums as you clearly listen to.
I've only listened
any mid rap. Like, I've only listened to 2 J. Cole albums. That's how I feel. because he's mid.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So I'm about 2 for 7 with him. But Kendrick, even though he's not my favorite, I'll listen to all the albums.
I feel like as a black artist, you have to listen to his albums though. Sure. It's one of those things. Like with Drake, I feel like people like Iceman ain't gonna sell. Iceman probably not gonna sell, but I'm gonna listen to it. You know what I mean? Like, let's not act like it's not gonna get plays or some shit. The same way, Sexy Songs for You got plays. You know what I mean?
I haven't listened to Sexy Songs still.
Well, I mean, honestly, you're not missing out. You're not missing out. I know. It's just a Drake album featuring Party Next Door.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
I'll get back into it. I'm not gonna get. I mean, I might. It depends. If Iceman moves me, then I might.
I think Iceman is finna go crazy, yo. I think Iceman is finna go crazy because What Did I Miss already is a banger. I will play What Did I Miss like on repeat. Like, I fucking love that song. I ain't gonna even hold you. I like the transition to the second half. I think the second half, I hope the album sounds a lot like the second half because the second half is such a bop, bro. Like, it's like, I don't know, it's just the ultimate, like, not fuck you song, but it's like, oh, so you hating now, nigga. So now niggas hating. Okay, nigga. Like, I just fuck with that energy. Like, I just want the album to be, oh, niggas is hating now. That's what I want the album to be. Like, but I think Iceman's finna go crazy. I think it's an album that we're finna have to listen to for the culture. Like, granted, everybody's like, oh, Drake's dead. Drake's not the culture anymore. I'm like, bro, can we stop the cap? I feel like, no, I take that back. Drake definitely got laughed out of the culture, rightfully so. Because I
don't know about out of, but definitely. Would you think he's out of the culture?
I think that we'll see that based on how Iceman performs. Like, if he drops the album and then the music videos for the album don't do upwards of 1 million, like greater than 1 million, like tens of millions, within like the first week or so, then yes, we can say he's out of the culture now. You know what I mean?
Think I can rock with that from I think people talk about Drake like he's out of the culture, but there's been like twice this week, like I can't even remember what the full song was because it was like a song on maybe Scorpion, but it was just like a dude in a car singing a Drake lyric that was just like, you were real mad last summer and now we're something together, because, you know, he had like spun the block on his ex or whatever, and the TikTok was just him singing that line or singing that part of the song and laughing. In the comment section, like thousands of comments, people just being like, Drake really got a song for everything, and being like, you know what I mean? Just talking really positively about it. I'm like, yeah, there's still so many spaces and people who just don't give a fuck. And so I it's hard for me to be like, he's out of the culture. It's like, I think it's a thing like you know, how before the last election, it looked like Kamala was going to win. It's like, yeah, because people who are voting for Trump aren't telling you that. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel about Drake fans now. It's like, people are still like, look at the streams. People are still listening to Drake. We're just not talking about it publicly.
I'm a loud Drake fan. The only sad part about that is that niggas make it hard. Like, niggas make it hard. You know what I mean? Like, goddamn, bro. That video I sent you, that nigga dancing to Drake, I'm like, bro, that is the epitome of being a Drake fan. Like, how hard it is to be a Drake fan, because I got to defend shit like that. Like,
I don't know if we've talked about it. I actually have another point. I don't know if we've talked about it. I feel like being a fan of anyone is terrible now. I feel like everyone's fan, not people that like the artist, you know what I mean? But people's like, I'm a this person fan. If you claim, like, I'm a Kendrick fan, you're annoying. You know what I mean? If you're Drake, annoying. Like, any people who have like, yeah, I like this person, this person, cool. But the Drake, Kendrick, Cole, any other big, like, even the pop stars.
The stands are.
You open up a comment section about them and you're like, I wonder whose stands are in here. You know what I mean? Throwing chairs and shit. And
they do be, man. They do be. That's my thing too with the whole Drake thing, is like, I've seen people like get angry about other people's like perceptions of him or whatever, or like how they don't like him. And I'm like, bro, you ain't got to get mad about it. Like, if you still rock with the nigga, just still rock with the nigga. You know what I mean? Like, you also don't got to be quiet about the fact that you still rock with the nigga, but you don't be holding the nigga nuts like a trophy. You know what I mean? Like, that ain't what you got to do. So like just say you a fan of the music. You know what I mean? But me personally, I feel like I hate stands too. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a stand of anybody. I feel like my first initial hate for Stans started with Eminem.
Obviously.
I feel like I couldn't stand Stans, not even because of the song. Like, I feel like niggas was really, really fans of Eminem like that early in his career. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's also the, like, I don't listen to rap. Eminem has the most, I don't listen to rap, but
yeah, exactly. But I seen it was something I was looking at earlier where somebody was talking about how, I think they were talking about JID and how JID gave them a similar vibe of Eminem, and somebody was like, "Don't you dare compare him to Eminem. Eminem is this type of lyricist, and JID is here." I'm like, just say you don't like black people.
Yeah,
like,
I was about to say,
just say you don't like black people. Like, it's
JID,
okay.
And no shade, is clearly stealing Eminem flow sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's like when he goes to the pop or the pope or the pop or the pop, it's incredibly indebted to Eminem. And I think he's acknowledged that and they've worked together. So yeah, if you're like, I like fast raps, but I don't like JID, you're probably racist.
Yeah, I feel like if Eminem is your favorite rapper, I'm just assuming you're racist. Like, I'm just assuming that you're racist. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if Eminem's your favorite rapper, Larry Bird's your favorite basketball player, you like. There's people who say they like college basketball better than NBA basketball, and it's like, what?
Why?
Yeah, because there's more white people. Because you could watch a whole team of white guys, and maybe they'll actually win a game in college.
Yeah, right. Or do you watch them get trashed? You go watch them for fucking 60 minutes.
I like fundamentals. I like play the game the right way. Anyone who's doing something the right way, racist.
I was seeing that literally on, and I can't remember what game that was, but I just happened to be on like the sports end of YouTube going through my algorithm because I had just started watching. I'm really, really big into the MMA, but I refuse to pay for the UFC I refuse to pay for that shit because they're trash and they don't pay their fighters. But I will go on YouTube and just go through like the highlights of a fight. And once you start doing that, YouTube's like, oh, you like sports? What about this sport? What about that sport? And so it was a video of I can't remember what team it was, but it was this team, majority of the white kids, majority of white guys in college, but they were getting done the fuck in by this other team that was like majority black. And one of the first comments was like, "Oh, it's okay. Those guys, they're doing all those dunks and whatever, but they don't know the fundamentals. They don't, you know what I mean? Like they don't have the core foundation of basketball. Whatever. It's like, nigga, don't be mad because they put nuts in your boy's head. Like all them fundamentals clearly ain't what they
fundamentals don't give a if you can dunk, fuck your fundamentals, brother.
Fact. But yeah, I think I've been on recently on a Mac Miller kick. I've been getting back into his bag. Like Faces is still one of my favorite mixtapes of all time.
Faces is perfect. Every time I listen to Faces, I'm like,
I thought I was the only one who felt that way.
Faces is probably I mean,
it is his best body of work. There's no debate about it. There's no debate about it. There's no debate about it. What can you say? Maybe Balloonerism?
I wouldn't put Ballooner. I like Balloonerism, but it didn't have that much staying power for me.
I actually didn't listen to it.
It's comparing different things, but I do think Swimming is really, really, really good too. It's not the same thing though, but the songwriting on Swimming is really. I'd listen to Swimming whenever. Also, like we could really, if we're really doing this, kids.
Kids
is up there too. But in terms of like being an interesting. Unique and good rapping is based.
His weakest album is Blue Slide Park for sure, easily.
Yeah, and he was. I mean, that was at a moment where he was like, you know, their trajectory of Mac Miller in retrospect is so crazy because like being outside for kids and Best Day Ever, like he was clearly on a different trajectory. And Blue Slide Park is kind of when we realized like this is as far as that's gonna go. This is as far as Swag White Boy is gonna go. Maybe you can get depressed and then come back.
What you did.
And we're like, okay. Now that you're sad.
Man, it's funny you say that because I went back and listened to Best Day Ever, which I remember where I was when Best Day Ever dropped. I remember the mode that I was in and how much it resonated with me, only to then see that same transition with Faces. Because I remember where I was when Faces came out and how much it resonated with me. I was doing drugs, I was fucked up. But when Best Day Ever came out, I was still a kid. I was still a party loving teenager. You know what I mean? Like I hadn't gotten sad too. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. It mirrored all of our experiences so perfectly because we were in high school, like, yeah, party, woo. And then like 8 years later, it's like, brother, things have gone bad. Mistakes were made along the way.
Facts. Well, yeah, I've been on a heavy Mac kick. I do feel like, I mean, maybe this is just my, like, because I'm not tapped into white culture like that. I feel like white people do not support Mac enough.
What does that look like? I don't know.
I feel like because I haven't heard a single white guy ever in my life say that Mac Miller was the favorite rapper.
Yeah.
Think about
I'm
it.
different. I definitely have. I feel like some of my friends growing up at peak Mac Mill, I mean, not peak, but at peak kids era, best day ever era, I feel like that was a lot of my homies' favorite rapper. But a lot of my homies were the white homies. But I think that's the point.
Yeah, I feel like that also doesn't count. Not to disregard that part of his discography, but like I honestly feel like Mac didn't become himself until Watching Movies with the Sound Off came out.
Well, I think the first one he really becomes himself is Macadelic, actually, because
I can give you that one.
Because that's the one where he says "Fight the Feeling" with Kendrick and
Fight the Feelings was so good. He had that fucking.
That's the moment where you're like, whoa, hold on there. Hold on there, Chief.
1 through 8 is honestly one of the best tracks I've ever heard. Like, not even to be like to gas like that, but I think as a person who makes music, what 1 through 8 is actually him doing is like practicing the cadence of the 8 count, like, and making a song built around that. It's super cool to me. You know what I mean? Because it's like, everything about the song is like either existential or like very, very honed in on the artistry. It's like those perfect, those two extreme ranges. It's like if you really listen to the album or the song from an artist standpoint, you can hear him honing in on the artistry of like making a song, like crafting the chorus, crafting the 3 verses. Like you can hear him doing that. And if you listen to the lyrics, he's getting mad existential on that. And that's one of his first songs where he's getting existential like that. That and Angels Cry.
Yeah, it's like the Xanax version of Let the Beat Build.
Yeah, that's the perfect analogy, yo. I had never thought about that. That's the perfect analogy. But I think that going back to listen to Faces, man, Faces touches me like it gives me like good and bad flashbacks. I'm like, bro, there was at this particular song, there was so much cocaine in my nose. You know what I mean? It's
His too.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yo, like, I feel you, brother. I feel you. Like,
no, it's hard for me to go back and listen to like Angel Dust. I'm like, I
love Angel Dust.
I love the song, but I'm just like, maybe actually don't fuck with it. Maybe
my favorite part about Faces is either It Doesn't Even Matter or Faces with Dash and Earl, and that part on Angel Dust where he's like, Little Stewart hasn't been in any movies lately. He spent his paychecks on cocaine and latex. His agent working hard to try to book him a commercial. When I first heard that shit, I'm like, nigga, we going crazy, nigga. Like, we going crazy. Like, but yeah, man, like I hear what you're saying when you go back and listen to it. It's like, God, the whole album is like definitely a cry for help.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty cry for helpy from that point on, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like there's I don't want to say it's like a bad album, but a lower, like Good AM is definitely like lower on the, just because the top 5-ish are so good. But Perfect Circle Godspeed on Good AM is like the hardest track, I think, there for me, period, for him to listen to, because it's just like, yeah, I think I'm gonna die, and what would happen if I die, and how would my friends feel if I die? Because I think I'm gonna die, and you're like, hey man,
please don't die.
Yeah, yeah, it was, yeah, man. I don't use that. To our white listeners, if you take nothing else from this episode, heed what Zai had to say, and please put on for Mac Miller more. We're not gonna.
Yeah, I can't. I can't do more than what I've already done. Like, it's on y'all now.
We're at our capacities. I'm already worried about being called a coon for several transgressions. I was thinking today, it's just more random hip hop thoughts. Is Isaiah Rashad the best rapper in TDE?
I've been asking myself that for a long time, and
every time I turned on an Isaiah Rashad album, I'm like, this is perfect.
Yeah, this is fair. I've been asking myself that for a long time, and I feel like the answer is unequivocally yes if Absol wasn't a TDE.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
If Absol wasn't there, unequivocally yes. You know what I mean? But like, nobody's ever been better than fucking Absol. Kendrick has never done it. Nobody's ever done it.
What I'll give to say about Zay that I definitely wouldn't say about Soul, but to each their own. He is the most, for me, I've never a bad 20 seconds of a song. Never a bad song, never a bad verse, never a lazy hook, never a mid beat. Every song he puts in is so well crafted. Is so like, there's never a song that's just like, I'm rich, I got money, haha. It's like, no, every song is like, I'm going to take you through something.
You know what's crazy? Do you remember when the whole Bye video came out about him and how he just disappeared after that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, disappeared is so weird because he always disappears between albums.
Yeah, but I don't.
When's the last time you've seen Zay do anything anywhere besides perform his music?
This is fair. But then I'm saying, like, is he dropping another album? Like, is there another?
Yeah, because I'm a fucking internet hip hop nerd. He posted in his Discord recently that the album's turned in. So I think that's why I started putting him back in rotation, because I was like, oh, let me go back to the last one. And I was like, let me go back to the Sun's Tirade. And I was like, let me go back to Sylvia Demo. And I'm like, Sylvia Demo is crap.
A banger, yeah. Sylvia Demo is one of the best mixtape. Like, I gotta stop saying that because I'm such a mixtape head, and like mixtapes to me are always better than albums. You know what I mean? But I feel like
because there's more hunger. Like, every mixtape is like, this nigga's trying to get on still, and there's no yeah.
But I feel like before Sylvia Demo came out, a lot of those songs were on this mixtape that was released, like a DJ had put together like a lot of his tracks called Welcome to the Game. And Welcome to the Game is Sylvia Demo on crack. Okay. Like, if you've never heard Welcome to the Game, there are songs that are on Sylvia Demo that are fucking fire. Like, there's this rapper that he had in the house label where they had the indie label that they had named Michael Da Vinci. Bro, he has some of the best features on any Isaiah Rashad song ever. Like that, and then YG Tut was doing his own thing.
Yeah, Tut's nice. Yeah.
With Preacher's Son and stuff. But I feel like that's who I wanted to see get more features besides the one that he got on The House is Burning. Because I feel like the house had everything that TDE wanted from Isaiah, but like in multiple artists. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they did the thing where I feel like they picked him out of the group or out of the label, but they're like, we want you to do everything your label does just by yourself. You know what I mean? Like, we want that sound just from you. We don't want them niggas. We want you to sound like the niggas a little bit, but we want you to still be you. We do not want all of them niggas, though, because there's a lot of niggas in the house. But and that's why his second album is called The House is Burning, which I feel like is an analogy for the fact that the label is dying. Like, I don't think anybody is still signed to it anymore.
Oh, what, TDE?
No, The House is Burning.
Oh, The House. Okay.
Yeah.
But what label?
The House. It was called The House.
Oh, okay.
Called The House. But yeah, it's like that. Like, Welcome to the Game was probably one of the best mixtapes. Sylvia Demo is definitely one of his best bodies of work, and it's one of the best ways to get introduced to him, I feel like. Like, if nobody's heard of Isaiah Rashad, you gotta play them Sylvia Demo before you play them anything else. Like, listen to this, my nigga. Like, listen to this shit. And Soliloquy, bro, Soliloquy is one of the best just straight bars songs from that nigga ever, bro. I got 4 white girls, all area. Wonder what they daddy think. Fuck a Mr. Revolution. I'm like, nigga, we cooking. Nigga. Like, I was like, bro, there's just so many lines on that album, where it's like Like, who is this nigga? You know what I mean? Or like, where is this coming from? Or like, you know what I mean? Like, he's new to the game.
It's so unique. Yeah, it's so unique. But so the best things in like hip hop and music or art period, where it's like, this is so unique and also so in homage to like hip hop and Southern hip hop in particular.
Yeah, no, in fact, you know who I'm still kind of heartbroken about, bro? Big Crit.
Yeah, I don't know. What is he still putting out albums? He's gotta be, right?
No, he's not putting out albums anymore. He's dropping like
we'll see. Cam Newton was only 36, by the way.
Who?
Cam Newton.
He's like 36?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's a big ass nigga for 36. I mean, he was an NFL player.
Nigga, like he's
he was an NFL player. The nigga's a fucking giant.
Well, you think only like 50-year-olds get big? You understand being big isn't really like an aged thing.
I hear what you're saying, but hey, I would have not thought 36 in that field, nigga. I would have definitely thought.
You gotta be at least 50, being 6'5" at all.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if you 6 foot whatever under the age of 40, you look like an old nigga. I'm sorry. Like it is what it
there was a new Crit album in 2025.
What's it called? Digital Roses Don't Die?
Dedicated to Cataly Buriats. Digital Roses Don't Die is 2022. He's put out 2 since then.
Huh, I didn't know that.
He's got, it says he's been busy as ever, but certainly none of this has crossed my desk.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's like the last thing that I seen from him that he was a part of that I was really, really into was Full Court Press with him and Dizza and Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah,
like
it says he's on a Meg Thee Stallion song.
I could totally believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I could totally believe that. But yeah, now, Full Court Press is such a good mixtape. There's so many artists from that time that I'm like, where are they now? You know what I mean? Like, what are they doing now? Like where's Schoolboy at?
Oh, for sure. I mean, Schoolboy's playing golf. Every time, Schoolboy is so good, bro. Last time he popped out, because he put out an album beginning of 25? Yeah, so like a year, maybe a little bit more than a year ago at this point.
What did he put out? What came after Blankface?
Blue Lips.
Okay.
You listen to Blue Lips?
I honestly don't tap into Q.
Oh,
I only fuck with Q. Not to say I don't like him, because I do love setbacks. I do love habits and contradictions. Like, I do love
you really will be like, I don't really fuck with that nigga. However, his first 4 albums, pretty solid.
Man, hey, I own that. When the nigga come out and he hot, I'm checking for it. You know what I mean? But at some point, the heat die off. And I'm like, I just ain't really checking for you no more, bro.
Sure.
So it's like...
Nah, Blankface, he definitely lost me with Blankface. No, not Blankface. Not, what's the one with, 2-door coupe popping out like I'm back in the box, nigga. I'm gonna shoot. If this 40 is all that I got, nigga.
I think that's Blankface.
No, that's the one after. That's Crash Talk. Crash Talk is where I hopped out. Blankface is great.
Okay.
And then Blue Lips came out in 2024. Damn.
You like Blue Lips?
Blue Lips was it's interesting. I think it's definitely solid. It's inconsistent, but the highs are high. He's got like Alchemist production on there. He's got like it's a really cool West Coast album.
There's no Absol feature. It's not a Q album.
This is.
I'm gonna throw Absol in every time we talk TD.
And just so you know, there is an Absol feature.
Oh, I might have to listen to it.
So there you go, Absol's manager.
Hey,
there you go.
If I'm gonna stand for anybody, it's Lupe, Fiasco, and Absol. You cannot tell me nothing bad about these niggas. It just doesn't exist. There's not a bad song by this nigga. There's not a bad verse by this nigga.
There's not a bad song by Lupe Fiasco. You're gonna look me in the eye. You're gonna look me in the eye and say there's not a bad song by Lupe Fiasco. Like he thinks there's a bad song. He doesn't like lasers. He's talked about
that whole album doesn't count, bro.
It doesn't count. It doesn't
count. Because that was my get out of the deal album. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna turn in some trash because fuck y'all.
If we can punt every artist's worst album, then sure, everyone's great.
No, I'm not saying that. But there's definitely like get out of the label album is going to be trash. That's the whole point.
Not the first Dragas, but like one of them was kind of mid, right?
Dragas Flight's kind of mid. Dragas Wade.
So what are we doing?
I still listen to it in full. You know what I mean? There's one of the, I'm not gonna lie. There is like 2 tracks in there where I'm like, I kind of force myself to listen to because it's new. I'm like, I gotta hear this album all the way through. It wasn't sitting. And so I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? But there are definitely 2 tracks on there where I'm like, I wish you had to put these on there.
The thing is, I really tried when FD put out the most recent Lupe, or not the most recent, but the Lupe video he did.
Yeah,
I tried again to really hard, like listening to Murals, listening to the Drogas. It's just too many words. And not even on some like me, like I'm not on some any intellectual shit and not on some hater shit. It's just, if I'm listening to a Lupe song and I like tune out for like 2 bars and then I come back.
That's the whole song.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, wait. So I can't. Maybe I don't have the attention span for a Lupe song because I'm like, you're no doubt barring up, but I'm actually not sure what we're talking about.
I feel like that is like after Food and Liquor 2. I feel like every album after Food and Liquor 2 is kind of that, where it's like going crazy. But what are we talking about again? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
it's like there's clearly a lot of things. Like you were touching on a lot of things, but the actual like message or succinctness, it's like I think you just read a lot of stuff and you're like you have all this floating around in your mind and you know what I mean? That's obviously a talent and cool. But in terms of being like a listenable or even like a follow alongable narrative for a song, I'm like, hey, bro, I'm here 4.5 minutes in and.
I will say though, like I don't think that he's ever dropped a bad bar. I feel like if you take the time to tune into it and like actually pay attention to it, like, because I'm not gonna die. It's a lot of words and it's hard to keep up with it in a cohesive manner. But like if you do keep up with it cohesively, there's never a bad bar. You know what I mean? Like, there's never a bar that's like, oh, what do you like? Why is this in the song or whatever? And I feel like the same can be said for Absol. I feel like there's not a single Absol song that I've listened to where I'm like, oh man, this doesn't make sense. Why did you say that? Like, nobody can give me a bad Absol song, and I've been waiting for somebody to give me one for years. And if you give me one, I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong. So it's like there's that. Like there's no bad. Come on with it.
What is
You see the struggle?
No, I'm thinking of the song. I'm trying to think of the full bar. Because the second half of the bar is kicked it, then I scored soccer game. She was a phony goalie. I got grade A. But it's potty train. Let me put your mouth where you potty boo. Them niggas pissing you to potty train, they movement shit. I mean, it is bars, but you know,
that's not a bad bar, bro.
Kicked it, then I scored soccer game it's very, you know what it is? It's very Young Money 2010s coded, like Nicki Minaj, Tyga level bars randomly.
I feel like my bias took over because when I heard that, I was like, yo, kicked it, then I scored soccer game.
She was a phony goalie? Like what? What are you talking about?
I was like, we cooking.
Literally, what is he cooking?
I am probably one of the most biased hip hop fans. I own it. Like
clearly, everyone has bias. Your biases are just more obtuse than the regular, our regular biases.
Yeah.
I'm one of the
most biased. I own it.
All right, before we get off, you got to listen to the Mike Will Made It. Just put out an album. You see that?
No, I didn't. Who's on it, though?
21 Savage, Mona Leo, Travis Porter, Saw Baby, Thug.
Mona Leo is on a generational run right now.
Yeah, she's kind of tough. And the song she's on, it's a her and Travis Porter song. It's pretty tough.
Oh, yeah, is that the OMG?
Standing O.
Yeah, Standing O. Yeah. Hey.
There's a Tizo and Ludacris song that's tough. Yeah. There's a Chief Keef and Youngboy song, the J. Cole songs, whatever. There's a OJ the Juice Man song. There's a new little Keed song.
Did he do the Metro Boomin but better?
Funny that you just automatically assumed it was better based on nothing. The shade at Metro based on just reading the track list is crazy. But it did. This is gonna open up a whole nother conversation, and I unfortunately don't have time to do it right now. Maybe we can next week do the Mike Will versus Metro.
Does anybody on the Mike Will album say "shut your whole ass up and make some drums"?
No, I don't think
If
so.
they don't-
Drake's not on there.
If
I'd
they
say
don't,
no.
they missed a good chance.
I'd say it's like I'll save like comparing Mike Will and Metro for because I think that's actually an interesting conversation we could have. But I will say, I mean, it's hard to compare because Metro's done like 3 solo albums at this but 3 my albums at this point. Maybe 4 actually, because he did the Spider-Man soundtrack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the whole thing was produced by him.
Yeah, so he's done 3 or 4 at this point, and Mike Will's done 1. So it's hard to compare, especially considering like Metro's pretty much had hits on all of the ones he's put out, and it's probably too early to say about this Mike Will one, though I don't really see any of these songs being hits just because who knows what songs are hit anymore, you know?
Yeah,
so
right.
Who cares? But no, it's tight to see A, Mike Will, and B, the collabs. Like there's Travis Porter and Monoleo. There's Chief Keef and Youngboy are on a song.
That's what I'm like. I don't know how I feel about Youngboy, man, because I keep hearing that he's this. He sells out arenas, and it blows my mind when I hear that. I'm like, who the fuck is listening to Youngboy like that?
There's 2 songs I like now. And I think I'm gonna try and find more songs I like because he's a really good rapper and it's like clearly Southern, you know, like it has all the component parts to songs I should like, you know what I mean? So I'm like,
doing the same thing.
I'm gonna maybe we'll do a Young Boy episode. Maybe we'll both pick a Young Boy album and listen to it or something. Because he does have like 75 albums too. So we can't just be like, hey bro, let's just go listen and report back. We gotta pick something similar. So maybe we'll do that. In addition to talking about Mike Will and shit. Any closing thoughts?
White people need to stay at Mac Miller more, and Kendrick's a grifter.
Yeah.
I love how you just shake your head like
No, you can't engage with that. Black or what did we decide? White people with Tourette's still can't say nigga. That's gonna be we're gonna stay signing off with that. There was one more. What else were we fucking talking about? Oh, let me put my mouth where you potty boo.
I feel like sapiosexual removes all of that. I feel like sapiosexual.
Yeah, it's creme.